I didn't know innocent-looking cartoons could hide such dark secrets, but after researching these shows that we all grew up watching, I found some seriously disturbing stuff that'll make you question everything. Let's dive into the dark side of our childhood favorites. Now, Courage the Cowardly Dog was basically a horror show disguised as a cartoon, and somehow parents let their kids watch this nightmare fuel.
Let go! Okay, you can have it! Oh, no! I can't believe I did that! It's mine! Eh? That's 3 plagues. You're out of ammo, mister. And don't think you can come around here pushing no tote bags on us, neither. What's your offer?
Return the slab.
The Return the Slab episode with King Ramses is pure psychological horror. The computer-generated animation mixed with that terrifying voice saying, "Return the slab or suffer my curse," literally gave an entire generation PTSD. This wasn't just scary, it was genuinely disturbing and traumatic.
This is the creepiest, but also my absolute favorite character from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Fred the Barber. Always smiling, he spoke in rhymes, and he would end the 4th rhyme with naughty. The way he said it, it felt like something slimy touched your ear. Like he had a kind and sweet personality, but something was very off about him. But that's because he had a compulsive disorder called trichotillomania. I don't think I said that right. Basically, it's an obsession with cutting or shaving people's hair to the point of complete baldness. It started with small animals like his hamster, and then it escalated to humans like his girlfriend. Becoming a barber was his way of trying to control the disorder. But then a customer with a full beard came in and he started dancing with the hairy devil. It was so bad he had to be put into a mental institute. Okay, hear me out. Fred's story is so interesting, it felt like I was watching a Tim Burton movie. John Dilworth, Tim Burton, I want to pitch you some ideas. He's so creepy, but he's so interesting.
And Freaky Fred the Barber, who's clearly meant to represent something much darker than they could show on kids' TV, the way he talks about being naughty while cutting hair is absolutely chilling when you really think about it. This show is teaching kids about stranger danger through pure nightmare content. Speaking of shows that shouldn't have been for kids, Billy and Mandy literally had the Grim Reaper as a main character teaching children about death and dark magic.
Quiet, Bone Breath, and listen good. I mean to get an A on this test tomorrow, and to do that, I need to get a good night's sleep. And to make sure that I get a good night's sleep, you're gonna keep Billy in check so he doesn't wake me up. Because if Billy wakes me up...
This show dealt with topics like suicide, depression, and existential dread. While marketing itself to children, Mandy herself is basically a sociopathic child who enjoys causing pain and suffering. The show normalized violence and psychological manipulation as comedy, which is seriously messed up when you think about it. Now this one's really disturbing. Ren and Stimpy was supposed to be a kids show, but it was packed with adult content that flew right over our heads as children.
This adult Ren and Stimpy series is god-awful.
I dropped my ball! I know! I guess I'll bend over and pick it up.
Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon is what happens when the creator, John K., has no restrictions from a TV network. He makes a show that's so bad, it only airs for 3 episodes before being canceled. Adult Party Cartoon is one of the worst animated shows of all time because it's ugly, gross, sexist, violent, and worst of all, it's not funny.
We can't stand to see people suffering. Can we, Stimpy?
The creator had some serious issues, and it shows in every episode. The violence was extreme, the psychological abuse was normalized, and there were hidden messages that were definitely not meant for children. This show is basically grooming kids to accept toxic behavior as normal, and even shows like Ed, Edd and Eddy had some seriously dark undertones when you really analyze them.
Ed, Edd, and Eddy Purgatory Theory is definitely the most discussed cartoon theory ever. If you ever seen the show, then you know that it obviously starts the Eds, of course, as well as a bunch of other kids that live in a cul-de-sac. However, the world around them is pretty much oddly empty. Adults or parents are rarely ever seen in the show, so this theory posits that the cul-de-sac is essentially a purgatory, and all the characters are kids that passed, with all of them also being from a different time period, going from the early 1900s all the way up to the early 2000s.
Some people think the kids in the show are actually dead and stuck in purgatory, which would explain why we never see any adults, and why the neighborhood feels so isolated and strange. The way the characters behave sometimes supports this theory, and it's honestly terrifying to think about. And don't even get me started on Invader Zim, which was literally about an alien trying to destroy humanity, but somehow aired on Nickelodeon.
In the episode Bestest Friends, the kids at school begin questioning why Zim has no friends. Zim then becomes worried that his lack of friends would expose his identity as an alien, so he befriends this weird kid named 𝘂𝗃, who becomes obsessed with Zim. After becoming tired of 𝘂𝗃, Zim dismisses him and states that he no longer wants to be friends with him. 𝘂𝗃, however, fails to receive the message and proceeds to stalk Zim at school and even at his house. In a final attempt to get rid of 𝘂𝗃, Zim builds him a present that removes his eyeballs in a gruesome fashion and replaces them with new robotic eyeballs.
Thank you, Zim.
These new eyes have hypnotic properties that Zim uses to convince 𝘂𝗃 that an angry squirrel is him. After the episode, you do kinda start feeling bad for 𝘂𝗃. He just wanted to be friends with Zim, but instead got his eyeballs pulled out in a savagely way and literally became insane.
This show had episodes about organ harvesting, mind control, and psychological torture disguised as comedy. The fact that parents let their kids watch this is wild when you think about what the show was actually teaching children. The truth is, a lot of our favorite childhood cartoons were created by adults dealing with their own dark thoughts and trauma, and they projected that onto shows meant for children. It's honestly concerning how much inappropriate content made it past network censors. Stay safe out there, and maybe rewatch some of these shows as an adult. You'll be shocked at what you missed as a kid. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good day or a good night.